Welcome to the Fantasy Football Profit Podcast, hosted by Craig Phillips and Jeff Torrey. Visit us at fantasyfootballprofit.com. And now your hosts, Craig and Jeff.
Welcome everyone to the Fantasy Football Profit Podcast. I'm Craig Phillips, joined as always by Jeff Torrey, and today we're talking Chiefs-Broncos. Thursday night game was just wrapped up. Chiefs win 30-6. Not the most exciting game in the world, but I guess there is, really big news out of it, and that's Patrick Mahomes. Looked like from what I'm seeing, is a dislocated kneecap is what the injury looks to actually be. And if you believe Twitter and all the doctors on Twitter, it's anywhere from a couple weeks to a season injury. So we know nothing, basically, at this point. So, yeah, this is, though, let's say Mahomes is out for a while. What's this do for all the Chiefs players, in your mind?
It kills them. It really does. It changes the entire dynamic of the team in my eyes. Maybe I'm wrong. I think it definitely hurts Tyreek Hill. Right off the bat, I don't think that there's any way around that. I can't imagine Matt Moore being able to throw the deep ball like Mahomes has. Running game, a little differently. I do wonder who will actually benefit and who will. I think that whoever gets the rushing will actually benefit a little bit. But people like Damian Williams, who have been a little more in the passing game of late, even though it was only 3 targets today, but he might be hurt because LaShawn McCoy looked like he got a little, like a few more carries. He did better with them. You wonder if he'll be the primary rusher and Damian Williams will take a back seat all of a sudden. I'm not really sure. I think this is what I'll say. I think one running back will come out of this and Kelsey will be fine. Everyone else gets hurt by it.
Yeah, with Tyreek, because people are going to say, "Oh, he got the 57-yard touchdown tonight with Matt Moore," but I just feel he's going to be so much back to the boom or bust type play. That's what's going to happen. He is going to break a couple of these like he did tonight, but it's not going to be consistent at all anymore. He was finally, that was the thing with Tyreek, was he was actually a lot more consistent with Mahomes as his quarterback, and I just can't see that happening with Matt Moore back there. Yeah, the run game, McCoy looks pretty solid tonight. That's probably going to be okay. But yeah, Kelsey, I think Kelsey will be solid. But, a lot of this is, they had, like, Tyreek's great and Kelsey's great, but Patrick Mahomes just brought up the level of the team so much and I don't know. They still got a good win tonight, but I just can't see this being great.
Right.
At least for fantasy.
Let's be honest. The good one came from their D, though. It really didn't come from their offense.
Very true. Yeah, it just, I'm not going to be too excited about it. Look at Mahomes' numbers. I was looking at, he was 10 of 11, 76 yards, a touchdown. He was having another really solid game. But, it's just, we don't know right now what this is going to be. We'll know more tomorrow, I guess. But at this point, the dislocated kneecap, it could be a million things. If there's ligament damage, it's pretty much it for the year. But they're saying, looks like no break, it's just the dislocation, but it's all about if there's any kind of damage in there.
So if he is actually out, we'll say there's 2 scenarios, right? If he is out only for, say, 3 weeks, do you look to trade any KC players? Which ones are you looking to trade? Which ones are you looking to hold on to? And then the next step will be if he's actually out for the entire season. How quickly are you cutting bait?
If it's only going to be a few week thing, and you are in a good spot in your league, you just hold everybody and just wait. But if you need wins now, I wouldn't mind trading everybody. Honestly, if you're at a spot where you need to win to make the playoffs, and you're like 2-4 or 3-3 right now, yeah, I would try to trade. I'd try to trade Hill and Kelsey, as long as you can get still pretty good top dollar, at least like 90% of what their typical worth is, because you can't wait around and have Matt Moore throwing the ball to those guys and try to win your fantasy league. Especially Tyreek Hill, that's one you can try to get somebody for. Kelsey, you probably can. At the tight end position, he's still going to probably be, he'll be one of the better options, obviously. So Tyreek, I wouldn't mind trading Tyreek. I wouldn't mind trading Tyreek almost anyway, even with Mahomes, honestly. Something about Tyreek I just worry about is, I don't know. I've always have it. It was completely unfounded last year, but I'd trade him.
Yeah, I don't I mean, I know that he's hurt, so it feels like a reactionary thing, but I'm not against trading Tyreek either. Even though KC is very good, their defense has been much better this year, and their offense has been, they're good, but they haven't been superhuman like they were last year. They haven't been producing the type of output that, we got really spoiled with last year. Even if they are very good, Tyreek was on an unbelievable pace. I mean, same thing with Kelsey, really. I mean, he's still the number 3 tight end, but he's been very normal. I mean, he hasn't been anything, extra, kind of extraordinary as we've come to expect. He's very, very good still. He's a very, very good football player. He gets a lot of receptions, yardage, but the touchdowns haven't been at that same pace. So, especially Tyreek, where you live and die by that deep ball, I would have no problem, even if he's only missing a couple weeks. I think his trade value would be extremely high still, knowing that Mahomes would come back at some point. I would actually be very, very okay with trading him.
Yeah, and a lot of it's really, I think even more, like I said, if you need to wins. If you can just hold, if you've been fine without him for the last few weeks anyway, and you just want to hold him, sure, that's fine. There's no problem with that, but not a bad player to trade, really. But yeah, I guess we wait and see. We have no idea right now. Could be a couple week thing. Could be an all season thing. An all season thing just going to put a damper on Kansas City's hopes at all. They weren't playing great anyway. And tonight was just Denver. It was so bad.
That's, yeah. And okay, what was up with that? Because it wasn't, and once again, it wasn't really their defense. Their offense put them in bad situations.
Even like if you're like on the broadcast, you hear Aikman talking about it. Like there was like no urgency, and there really wasn't. Like they just, I don't know, it was weird. Flacco it feels like he's uninterested in a weird way. He just looks uninterested. You know what I mean? He has that Jay Cutler look to him sometimes.
Right. Right.
It's like he just doesn't seem to care. I don't know. It's how many times his overthrows or trying to throw a ball to a guy on the sideline. It's just not even close. And he's just not that good. But the nice thing is, though, I guess, like Cortland Sutton still had put up a good game despite Flacco not being able to play. Sutton, 6 for 87. He's a good receiver. He looks good.
Solid again. If he could get in the end zone, he would turn into an extraordinary wide receiver very, very quick. I just wonder if it's even possible with the Flacco show going on.
I don't know if it is. I mean, it's going to be ups and downs. That's what's going to be. Then that backfield is just a split.
Yeah, I know. As soon as we give Lindsey or any player too much hype, they come back down to earth. This one was a disappointing one. I mean,
this should have been a good matchup for these guys.
And neither of them honestly, the entire offense, but neither of them got it going. Freeman got the touchdown, so it saves his day. But
he actually had a pretty good fantasy day.
Yeah, he did
because of it.
Yeah,
just because of that touchdown, it wasn't really anything great. And he gets the 4 catches. Again, he's been getting the catches, and it seems like more than Lindsey here. I don't know the exact numbers, but I would have thought Lindsey would get more of that.
Yeah, I tell you the truth, I have no idea. When you're not able to move the ball, I don't know why you're not throwing it, to the backfield a little more. I mean, Royce Freeman, he had 5 targets, which is obviously healthy, and Philip Lindsay only had 1 though. So I'm not, and yeah, I don't know what they're doing offensively. I mean, this is kind of the whole reason why you don't trust a whole lot of players on their team. I still like Lindsey as a back end running back, and I still like Cortland Sutton. I actually think that he is a very, very solid wide receiver 3 or a back end wide receiver 2. But other than that, I mean, I don't know. They don't look like they're ever going to get it. They're ever going to put it all together, which is very worrisome, and especially going into kind of the mode where you're starting to look for playoff players for fantasy. I'm not seeing a whole lot that I'm absolutely loving on this team.
Well, Joe Flacco is lucky that Drew Lock is on IR.
Oh, 100%.
I mean, he would be everything would just be calling for Drew Lock to be the starter here. And it should be, but obviously he can't. He's injured now. Flacco would have lost his job. There's no doubt at all. I mean, he's just not a good quarterback. It's so weird how, I guess he was never great in Baltimore, but he was good enough. Okay. I mean, not even really being fair to him, but
No, he was never a spectacular quarterback. He has made some big time throws in very good games. I mean, we remember his career. He was able to win a Super Bowl, but let's be honest, like he was the type of quarterback that could keep you in it, wouldn't lose you the game, and then he had unbelievable defenses back in the day with Baltimore that actually could go out and get it done. So, I mean, this is kind of his MO. This is who we thought he was. I mean, he used to be a little bit better, but when you have the Broncos type team, you're not going to go out and compete against a team like KC. You just don't have the players around you that can offset, Flacco's very, kind of passive, just don't throw interceptions approach.
He's the backup quarterback's Brandon Allen, so that's why Joe Flacco's still going to play.
He's very safe. He will play definitely.
I mean, it's just not good for the Broncos skill position players. I mean, you can still use those guys through bye weeks if you're in a bind, like I have been. Royce Freeman's my number RB2 tonight, so felt good about that. But that's lucky you got a touchdown. That's the only reason. You can't rely on that very much. It's just not going to be. It's going to be rough. Cortland Sutton, though, I think I'd still be okay with Cortland Sutton as my wide receiver 3. I'm okay with that. I think he's shown he's decent enough. He's good. He's just, that's a bad team. That's just a bad team. They kind of fooled us with 2 wins, I think, in a row there. That's all that happened. Kind of got fooled thinking they were a little better than they were.
Yeah. And Joe Flacco, I can't get over it. I really can't, because he's had plenty of opportunities, but he only has, 6 touchdowns thrown in 7 games, 3 of them coming in 1. I mean, he has just he has just been bad.
Oh, this makes me feel better about picking up the Buffalo Bills defense because they get the Broncos in week 12. So 4 of the next 6 weeks are against 2 games against Miami, 1 against Washington, 1 against Denver.
Oh, and part of it, I mean,
I love that.
I'll be honest, like Joe Flacco has been sacked a lot. So if I'm giving him a little bit of a reprieve, I do have to mention that because he has been getting hit a lot. And I'm not gonna lie, Buffalo is gonna feast on him because how many did they have tonight? It was a lot. What they have, like 5, 6?
It was 9. It was 9.
9? Jesus. Yeah. See,
I was just looking at that because I picked up Buffalo, so I'm loving that it's a few weeks away. But so this is the defenses I guess you look at. That next week they play Indianapolis. I'm not sure about that, but then Cleveland's probably a good play. Minnesota, Minnesota's gonna destroy them. Buffalo, man, they're gonna. Houston, the first week 14, the playoffs. Maybe if you're a playoff team, go pick up Houston now. Right, if that's how the Broncos look. I mean, I think they're better than that, but it just was ugly, man. Joe Flacco's just doesn't seem to care. But all right, I think that's all I got.
Yeah,
for Broncos Chiefs
Thursday night game. That's how they've been going.
Hopefully, for Mahomes' sake, it's not too big of an injury. At least it was an ACL. That was whenever you see knee, you just worry about that. No. Good thing that wasn't the case. So.
Yeah, you're hoping that he has a speedy recovery. Whether or not he returns this year, you don't want his career shortened because of an injury like that.
No. But, all right, that'll do it. We'll be back Sunday night to talk about the Week 7 games. Talk to you guys then.